As spiritual people, what we are doing is we're saying you have to feel those emotions. You have to feel them, but then you have to be willing to let them go. Welcome back to the Flower Garden. My name is Lisa, and in today's video, I wanted to talk about spiritual bypassing and toxic positivity. So there have been a lot of things going on in the world, obviously, and a lot of people have been getting a couple of things confused in terms of what actual spirituality is and what it means to be spiritual bypassing, and also toxic positivity. So those kind of go hand in hand, so I just wanted to explain those two first, and then I wanted to talk about what spirituality actually is and what we actually do. As far as spiritual bypassing goes, what that means is it's basically this mentality of like positivity only. You have to be good vibes only, or you're gonna mess it up, or you're not gonna manifest what you want, or anything along those lines. And that's the same thing with toxic positivity, obviously. That means that you only can be positive, that you can't have any negative thoughts, and you constantly have to be on, and constantly have to be like monitoring your thoughts. And basically, that's not what actual spirituality is. When you are an actual spiritual person who is dedicated to healing yourself, what you're doing is you are embracing the dark, right? So spirituality is not all roses and butterflies all the time, right? Being spiritual means embracing the dark, and it means looking at yourself in the mirror, and it means realizing that you are the cause and effect of everything. And what does that mean? That means that you realize that you have influence over your life, that every decision that you make is going to lead you down the path. You're constantly choosing your reality. When I say embracing the dark, what I mean is you have to feel all of your emotions, right? So all of the positive ones, all of the negative ones, anything that comes up, you have to feel it. You can't just bottle it up and push it down. And you can't just sit there and say, okay, but I have to be positive, or else this, or else that. You have to realize that you have to feel those things, but then you also have to let them go. So that's the part that people don't understand when it comes to spiritual bypassing, right? People say, oh, well, I'm not allowed to feel my emotions. I'm not allowed to express, the discomfort, the misery, the pain that I'm going through. And they just say, okay, well, you're spiritually bypassing me. And that's not what's actually happening. As spiritual people, what we are doing is we're saying you have to feel those emotions. You have to feel them, but then you have to be willing to let them go. And that's where people go wrong. People get into these very, very dark emotions, into these negative thoughts, and then they just stay in them, right? And you just wallow in it, and you haven't figured out what it means to actually let go of these things. When it comes to letting go, that means also letting go of any victim mentalities that you might have, right? And that's the really hard part, to realize that, okay, everything that is around me, I am creating, right? Every situation, every problem in my life is something that I have created, right? With my own thoughts, with the things that I'm constantly focusing on, right? And so the letting go part is how you let go of that focus you have on those things, and you actually manifest better things, right? And that's where this misinterpretation of the positive vibes only thing comes in. Because it's not that we're saying, oh, positive vibes only, you can only feel good. We're saying, yes, you have to feel those negative things, but you also have to then come back to the light, right? The whole point of healing is to take the dark to the light, right? And then you manifest from that place. Because if you're constantly focused on the dark, then you're manifesting from the dark place, right? That means that the law of attraction is constantly in motion. It's like gravity, right? You can't stop it. It's always influencing you, and it's constantly attracting things to you. And whatever state you're in, that's the state from which you are attracting. And finally, the last point is that with spirituality, it's all about unity, right? It's all about realizing the oneness of you and everyone else, right? That you are all one, that by judging another person or hating another person, you are also hurting yourself, right? And by creating all of that negativity and focusing on negative things and staying in the darkness, you are hurting that unity, right? And so with that, when we start to tell people, oh, you're spiritually bypassing me, or this is toxic positivity, which I'm not saying that doesn't exist, right? That does exist. Spiritual bypassing is real. Toxic positivity is real. But I wanted to clear the air and explain that this is what it actually is, right? This is what spirituality is. This is what being a spiritual person is. This is what being dedicated to healing means. And with that comes realizing that we're all one, right? And realizing that you have to focus on the unity, and you have to focus on what unites us more than you focus on what divides us, right? Because then you're just letting your ego take over. You're just identifying with whatever you have been told to identify it with. You're just identifying with whatever you've been told to identify with, right? And you're forgetting that we are all one, that we all come from the same place. And so we are love, right? We're all made of love. We're all in this together at the end of the day. So the point is that, yes, you have to feel your emotions. You have to feel everything that comes up, good, bad, ugly, pretty, whatever. But then you have to let it go. And you have to come back to the light. And then come back to what makes us, right? What makes us one, which is love, which is realizing the humanity in other people. And that's what being spiritual means. It's realizing that. It's not being focused on division in the name of justice and thinking that that's going to solve all your problems, and then pointing fingers at other people who also think that they're the good guy. Everyone thinks they're the good guy. And so that was my little rant. I hope you guys found that helpful. And if you want to check out more videos, make sure you turn on the notification bell, because in the next video, I'm going to be talking about, and let's find out what I'm talking about because Lisa doesn't know. I'm going to be talking about how to deal with your friends and family who are still asleep, who haven't gone through their awakening. And if you want to learn more about the law of attraction, about spirituality, and other esoteric topics, you can go ahead and check out the videos right here. And until next time, I love you guys. I hope you have a good week and a good day. Bye.